Despite the extreme heat and humidity in southern Manitoba this week, the executive director of MCC Manitoba is pumping his pedals as he rides 600 kilometers. Ron Jansen is proud to be heading up the recycled Journey for Justice ride as it combines his passion for cycling and the work of MCC. His bike trek began Monday morning in Brandon and will include stops at all 16 MCC thrift shops in Manitoba. Tuesday, Jansen traveled to Portage, Carman, and Winkler. Al Friesen and I joined up with Ron during his stop in Carman and rode along for the 40 or so kilometers to the MCC thrift shop in Winkler. Following the ride, he told us how MCC thrift shops remind him of trees.
I've been thinking about thrift shops and how in so many ways they are reaching out to their communities. And people see the shop like you see the crown of a tree and they think, it's a beautiful thing. There's lots of recycling happening there. There's lots of meaningful volunteerism. But there's lots beneath the surface that people don't necessarily realize, and that's all the significant relationships that happen in the community. That's part of the thrift shop story that really needs to be told and celebrated, so we're doing that on this ride.
Jansen hopes to raise $45,000 for the restorative justice programs that MCC runs here in Manitoba. He explains they help offenders and ex-offenders reintegrate into our communities. Jansen adds that work is very similar to what the thrift shops accomplish in restoring and connecting with residents. While the bike ride is an endurance test for Jansen, he's encouraged and enthused by the volunteers and supporters he sees along the way. He in fact credits the thrift shop volunteers as the true endurance participants, as they have been contributing for years and years. It's not surprising, as the shop numbers are significant.
The sales in Manitoba are over $6 million a year, and over half of that actually gets turned back to MCC to contribute to its work around the world. After all the operations are paid for, and it's true, it's $1 and $2 at a time.
The recycle tour also includes 10 draws for a free bike, and Jansen himself worked on many of the MCC rebuilds. The Journey for Justice continues today with stops in Altona and Morris, that ultimately Jansen will wrap up his 6-day ride in Riverton on Saturday. For Pembina Valley Online, I'm Tara Funke.